Okay, so I really never wanted to be making this video. And I am so mad right now that I didn't even bother to change my clothes or my lip color from the last video to make it seem like it wasn't filmed on the same day. That's how mad I am right now. But for real, being 100% serious, I never wanted to make this video, and I'm going to try really hard not to become too emotional in this. But this is something that is very emotional for me, and this is going to be also a very different kind of video for my channel. So if you want to stay away from negativity and drama and stuff like that, if you don't have a vegan lifestyle, this is something that doesn't pertain to you, then I'd recommend, like, honestly, just stay out of this. I'd recommend just getting yourself out of this right now, because it's just too much. If you don't need to deal with this, it's too much. I'm just trying to save you all. But if you are vegan, if you're an ethical vegan, then I think you do need to watch this video, and I think you do need to listen to what I and the rest of the vegan community are saying. This is just going to be a very raw video. First reactions, well, like third reactions, because I've already reacted to this a bunch of times, but first on camera reaction about this. I am not trying to make my channel overtly vegan related, because it's a big part of my life, but it doesn't dictate everything I do. However, this is something I did want to put out there, so that's why this is here, in case you guys are wondering. But no more explanations, whatever. We're just gonna jump right into it. Once again, like I said, this is a video I never wanted to be making, and something I never wanted to have to be thinking about. And I apologize if it come across as over dramatic with this, but I'm just, hopefully by the end of this you'll understand where I'm coming from. I'm gonna preface this by saying, well, let's just explain what we're talking about here. Today I'm gonna be discussing 2 minutes in, like, today I'm gonna be discussing whatever. I'm so bad at making videos, I'm sorry guys, but and I'm just like so mixed up in the head right now with this. But I'm gonna be discussing Daiya food and their recent decisions, their recent acquisition, and what that acquisition entails, along with some other things, the reaction to this, what the next step is. This is just going to be a video just talking about Daiya and what has happened the past couple days. So I want to preface this by saying a couple things. I have a very emotional connection to food, which I think is in part why this is going to have so much drama involved in it for me. I have a very emotional connection to food, and I also have a very strong connection to my values and my belief that we should protect animals. So both of those things are very important to me. I really want to lay this in, because I think this is why I'm so upset. I can have memories with food. Eating is one of, like, the best parts of my day, like, no joke. I can get so involved and so obsessed and so excited for food and certain brands and stuff like that, especially as a vegan, because I find as a vegan I'm always on the lookout. Like, I'm always on Instagram, I'm always on Twitter, like, what's the new stuff, what can I buy? And whenever, like, a new brand announces something, or something new comes on the market, or they're gonna carry something new at Whole Foods I never carried before, that stuff gets me so excited, especially as a vegan, because it's another thing I could be like, you know, we aren't restricted at all. We can eat whatever. We have this amazing new stuff, and it's amazing new stuff that I love to try, because, I mean, I'm gonna be straight up with you, like, I love processed foods. I mean, I eat a lot. I eat 100% organic, but I do eat a lot of non-processed foods. Or I do both. I eat a lot of non-processed foods and a lot of processed foods. So, but especially when new processed stuff is introduced, I do get very excited. Like, I'm not gonna lie. So I do have a very strong connection to this case in particular for multiple reasons. We're just gonna start from the very beginning with a little story time. Why don't we? Okay, so I went vegetarian when I was 10 years old, and I can do a separate video on this. This isn't gonna get into, like, my whole life story, but again, this is related. I went vegetarian when I was 10 years old, and I went vegan when I was 12. So just to specify, again, if maybe you're unfamiliar but you're trying to learn more about the vegan lifestyle through me, like, thank you, that's awesome. And to be vegan basically is different from being vegetarian, because you don't eat dairy, eggs, or anything that comes from an animal in any way. Honey, anything related, instead of just direct meat products themselves. So I went full vegan when I was 12 years old. At that time, there were not that many vegan products on the market, besides things that accidentally were, like pasta, whatever. But there were not very many dedicated, like, if any, almost, dedicated vegan brands that made dedicated food that was not on shared equipment, all that kind of stuff, that marketed themselves as plant-based or vegan. I mean, there wasn't even that much stuff that was vegetarian. Today, if you look at almost any store, you can see a whole section, and there's so much stuff. But I want you guys to go back to imagining a time where the selection was very, very limited, you know, and you know, it's evolved a lot since then. So the first thing I always hear people say is, Daiya's bad, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't taste good, it's gross, it makes me throw up, whatever. Just to backpedal even more, if you don't know, Daiya makes cheese. They started off with non-dairy cheese. They make shreds, slices, blocks. Then they made mac and cheese, packaged mac and cheese. They also make cheesecake now. And I might be missing something else, but in general, they just make cheese related products. But the OG stuff is like the Daiya shreds that they have multiple different flavors in. And it's just kind of probably, I would say, the #1 vegan cheese, even though people always seem to have an issue with it. But I defended it from day one because I fell in love with it when I had it when I was 12. And cheese was the hardest thing for me to give up. I actually didn't have a problem giving up meat. I didn't really like meat to begin with, or most meat. I never drank milk directly. That was disgusting to me. So I didn't really have a problem giving up direct consumption of milk or eggs. I didn't like eggs or meat. But I did love cheese or things with cheese in it. But immediately, when I tried Daiya, I really liked it. And it was a big part of me making the transition to vegan. It was very, very important to me. Sorry, a bird just landed like right above my window, and I could just see his little butt. That was a big part of me transitioning to vegan, and I bought Daiya like every week. I'm sure, if not more than once a week. Since then, since 7 years ago, I've been buying their products every week, and I've always had at least the cheddar shreds, the cheddar style shreds in my refrigerator every day for the past 7 years. I'm not even kidding. That's like probably one of the only products like that I always keep. I never make sure I never run out of. And then, you know, like time to time, I'll fluctuate and buy also the slices and other stuff I buy frequently as well. But the shreds, always an OG. I love their cheesecake. I was buying their mac and cheese a lot for a while, and whenever they come out with a new item, I'm just so psyched because they're like, Daiya's one of my favorite brands. Daiya's been with me from the beginning. Like, I know a lot of vegans don't like them, but I think in part that's due to a lot of people that came in when the options were like everywhere, and I totally understand that. But yeah, if you came in when like Field Roast had their cheese, maybe you wouldn't even think about Daiya, whatever, but that wasn't around back then. You know what I mean? Daiya is the OG. I've always loved their stuff. I've always had a strong connection to them because they just meant a lot to me, and they helped me to get to where I am today. So I always wanted to give back to them. I want to eat their stuff all the time. I mean, I go to restaurants where they use their stuff. It's just very common. You know, it's a very common vegan dairy replacement in America. I should mention that. So just a big thing for me. Anyway, so then I logged into Facebook the other day, and I was actually at a meal, I think with my parents. I think we were eating together, or we just finished eating probably, because I was on my phone. And the first thing I saw was, first of all, Veg News. Shout out to Veg News. Like, they always get that information, like, right there. They're always talking about the buyouts, always talking about the funding. Like, they're, like, on point, right? So I, of course, first thing on my feed was a Veg News article. I read all their stuff, and so that's probably why it was like right there on the top of my feed. And basically it said that Daiya had been 100% bought out for about $400 million. I don't remember the exact number now, but it was about $400 million by a Japanese company named Atsuka. So I at first was obviously very upset. But then when I saw what it was, I was relieved, because I've seen So Delicious, which actually is my all-time favorite brand, and Silk, another one of my favorite brands, bought out by White Wave, then bought out by Dannon, which is like, I've seen that happen. I've seen companies get bought out by meat companies. Like, I've seen some, like, we've had a ton of huge blows dealt to the vegan community where stuff has been snapped away by a massive company that's very unfriendly to animals. And I should also mention this, that those become things that I boycott then. I really love supporting family-owned businesses, or at least businesses that aren't owned by a parent company that's taking all the money and then testing on animals, or running dairy farms or meat farms, whatever. That's something that I'm totally not okay with. I mean, I'm gonna be totally transparent. I do buy So Delicious from time to time. I do buy soap from time to time. Not often at all, and they're not staples in my home at all. But I don't completely never put them in my mouth, I'm gonna be honest. But there are some things, like Ben and Jerry's, never ever put in my mouth unless like it was free or something, maybe then. But because they're owned by Unilever, which tests on animals, that is way over the line for me. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to differentiate between that kind of stuff, but to me, like, a dairy company, I don't know, like, the testing on animals thing is the number one thing for me, especially as a makeup addict. That's taught me to, like, be 100% removed from animal testing in all manners, like, because that's something that's completely unnecessary. In America, everyone's here eating cheese, everyone's here eating meat, whatever. Like, it's gonna be something that's very, very hard to change, but animal testing is just a huge no for me in my lifestyle. I will never be associated with anything like that. So anyway, that being said, at first I was relieved because I was like, oh, Tyson didn't buy them, like, whatever, or Unilever didn't buy them, like, it's just Japanese company. And I was like, oh, well, that's cool, because they're, like, Japanese, and, like, it's not like some big bad, like, American company, because I was trying to look on the bright side, and I was trying to be optimistic. I was very upset because this was the exact news that I had known was coming for years and years, as I've watched all my other favorite brands fall by the wayside, and, their owners take millions and millions of dollars because that's more important to them than true veganism and true animal protection. So I guess I should have known this day was coming, but it just never seemed real to me. It never seemed like this could have happened, this brand that I've been with for so long, and that's such an important part of my life, and that makes basically the top vegan dairy-free cheese. So I was very upset. Then I was like, it's a Japanese company. I don't know. I had very mixed feelings. I had very, very mixed. I'd never heard of this company, by the way. I should preface that too. I had no idea what this company was. And the Veg News article did not give like any information as far as I remember. It just basically said they got bought out. This company, Atsuka, Japanese, and like $400 million, whatever. Like it was very basic information. So I didn't know that much from that. So I had very mixed feelings. I mean, obviously I wished it had never happened, but I was trying to look on the bright side, like trying to find some way that I could still have my cheese because it means a lot to me, whatever, trying to find some way that this wasn't as bad as it seemed. So I tried to kind of push it away, and I was thinking that what I would do, which is what I do all the time now as all my makeup companies get bought out, and as all my food companies get bought out, I just try to pinpoint around an exact date that the buyout will happen, and then that's the date that I stop buying. Like I will still buy and maybe even stock up depending on how much I like the product for things before they're bought out by a parent company. So I was trying to figure out when Daiya would be bought out, but there was no really information on that because it still hasn't been totally approved. As far as I know, it hasn't been approved by the shareholders. And I don't think they've gone through all the legal aspects of it yet, but I mean, it's basically, they announced it, so it's basically happening, but it's not going to go through, probably not till the end of the year, because usually that stuff takes, quite a while for a company to totally acquire another. So I was like, you know what, I still have a few more months. I've tried every other vegan cheese, but I guess I'll try them again with a different perspective now. I was very upset, but I was like, still have a few more months. This is a company that might not even be that bad, who knows? So then, I want to say this was Thursday or Wednesday or something like that, this past Thursday or Wednesday. And then I logged on to Facebook again on Saturday evening. And very first thing, again, Facebook knows, I guess, very first thing that came up on my feed, again, was, oh, turns out Otsuka is this massive animal testing corporation now. So I was like, completely blindsided, like, okay, because apparently this brand is a pharmaceutical company, which, what the heck? Like, I was like, oh, thank God it's not Tyson. Thank God it's not whatever. Like, at least that's an actual, like, food company. Like, they sold out to a pharmaceutical company. Like, literally, Big Pharma, one of the, like, dirtiest and worst and most harmful types of businesses and types of industries that we have, at least, again, here in America. One of the most detrimental and evil, quote-unquote evil, like, I'm not one of those people, but you know what I mean, quote-unquote evil corporations or industries, again, in the United States. So apparently Otsuka is a pharmaceutical company, and apparently they are, like, known for testing on animals because they're massive. This is a massive company, so of course they're doing a ton of research, and they just make pharmaceuticals, so of course they're doing a ton of research for the medicine and all that stuff. And, like, I mean, I don't think there's any pharmaceutical company that takes an anti-animal testing stance. Like, I don't even think that's a thing. So of course, and when I saw that, I literally just started bawling because I can't lie to myself about this. I can't look at it and say, and push that out of my head. Like, push, like, an animal being abused and tortured, that's what I'm paying for. Let me back up. When I'm buying Daiya, it's not like Daiya's gonna be testing animals. Not like I know that. I'm not an idiot. Like, obviously, Daiya's the same. I even read that it's gonna be all the same management, all the same employees, same headquarters, everything. Same CEOs. Just, you know, Otsuka's like overseeing it all. So everything's gonna be the same. I understand, like, they're not gonna become, like, not vegan now or something, but in a way they are, because in my opinion, when I'm going to Whole Foods and I'm picking up a bag of Daiya shreds and it's vegan, it's plant-based, whatever, like, all good stuff, like, no, that money that I just gave them is gonna go straight to animals in cages, animals in laboratories. That's literally what this is, and it blows my mind that the owners of Daiya, who I'm assuming are vegan, or, like, it's been their mission from the beginning to suck money out of vegans. I hope they're vegan themselves. If they are, how could you sell your company to a company that tests on animals, and a huge one at that, not one that is ever going to change? Like, you know, this company's never going to change their ways. They can't infiltrate it with their cheese company. They own, like, I was reading, they own a ton of stuff. Like, I mean, I have it up on my computer right now, like, or I guess I don't have the different types of companies up right now, but they just have a billion different, like, this massive corporation. Like, them owning Daiya does not mean anything, does not do anything. So I'm just gonna read you right now. This is plain as day on Otsuka's website, which is just otsuka.com, OTSUKA.com. So they have a whole section on their website called Research and Development, Compliance with Appropriate Implementation of Animal Experiments in Research and Development Activities at Otsuka Group Companies. Under the corporate philosophy of, quote, Otsuka people creating new products for better health worldwide, the Otsuka Group of Companies is actively engaged in research and development for products related to nutraceuticals that support daily health and innovative pharmaceuticals that aim to cure diseases. Use of laboratory animals in some areas of drug development is still necessary in order to validate the efficacy and safety of potential drug candidates prior to use in humans. What does it sound like to you? For testing of Otsuka's non-drug product candidates, laboratory animals are still used occasionally and only when necessary. When implementing testing involving animals, Otsuka strives to uphold scientifically valid methodologies, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot, and ethical considerations from the viewpoints of animal protection and welfare, including the lives of the animals, preservation of the environment, and the safety of experimenters. What does that sound like to you? To me, that sounds just like when someone goes on, like, the L'Oreal website, and then it's like, oh, L'Oreal isn't vegan? Or when they go on the MAC website, and they're like, Mac isn't cruelty free. Like, did you read their statement? They say like, oh, like, we're cruelty. They basically like say they're cruelty free, and then just go like, oh, except when necessary, like, except when we're forced to. Like, no. I do not accept stuff like this. And this is the exact same phrasing that they're using here. This is the trickiest way to say stuff that they're admitting they test on animals, which I mean is good for our purposes, I guess, because now we know. But it's the skeeziest way of saying like, oh, but our standards, and oh, but we like try so hard not to do it. It's just the same as the makeup companies that, you know, pull the wool over your eyes to make it seem like it's all fine and dandy and cruelty free, and they're not just out here for money. Like, no way, never. So it just goes on to talk about their act on welfare and management of animals that they adhere to, whatever. But I mean, it literally, you know, says on their website, they have a whole section of it that, you know, they test the pharmaceuticals and animals, which of course, like, I mean, you wouldn't need a thing to tell you that, because like I said, all companies do that. So, and I saw that, I was just in tears. Like I said, I could not hide this. I could not push this back. Like, this has to be something I confront now, which, you know, was something that was very hard for me to come to terms with. This is something that's going to change. This is something that I'm going to have to deal with now. And what's very irritating is that this is not the first time, and we know this won't be the last time. I mean, other vegan food companies have sold to food companies, and now vegan food companies are selling to multinational pharmaceutical companies. I mean, something is very, very strange about that to me. And if you talk to Daiya, which I did, if you go on Daiya's Facebook, I mean, you can probably see my response to them. But there's a ton of responses. I mean, of course, a huge boycott happened among vegans, and a ton of people are commenting on their Facebook page right now. And so I did as well. And if you look at the responses, they're all the same. And they just say, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way, but we think this partnership with Otsuka is just amazing, and it shows, you know, their commitment. And I'm not even really like paraphrasing this. This is almost what they say. Like, it shows their commitment to the plant-based lifestyle and to furthering plant-based foods. Like, I don't know how much trust people have in the corporate structure of like developed countries. Like, I don't know where people get this stuff from, that like because a $1 billion, I'm assuming this is like $1 billion corporation buys out a small like family owned company, that turns into like, oh, they like really care about plant-based stuff, and they really care about like the earth. And like, no, what? Like, it's all about to make money. Daiya's the number one vegan cheese company. They're like one of the number one vegan companies, period. Silk was the number one dairy-free milk company, bought out. Like, duh. Guardian is the number one vegan meat company, bought out. Duh. Like, I mean, So Delicious, the number one ice cream company, bought out. Like, it's not because they're like dedicated and they care and they're like trying to become vegan. Like, if another vegan company was buying out all their stuff, like, yeah, they're probably trying to expand, you know, vegan stuff. But if you're not, like, it's literally just to make money, because you're trying to make money off your non-vegan stuff as well, and in this case you're trying to make money off your pharmaceuticals as well. Like, that literally makes no sense. But no, of course the response is like, oh, they're gonna make Daiya a global brand, which is also one of the things I thought about when I saw the first article saying they got bought out. That was something that actually did come across as a plus to me, before I found out the dirty aspect of this. I did think, oh, well, Daiya will go global, which is something that is amazing, because I know even England, you know, like another similar country to America, has had big issues with getting and keeping Daiya in retail for there. So I was like, that's a good thing. We could bring it to England. They're definitely going to bring it to Japan. They're probably going to bring it to other areas of Europe. I mean, maybe even other parts of Asia. And that's something that would be awesome, because, like, I don't think those places have such a good replacement, or some of those places might not even have a replacement at all. So that would be bomb. And that was one of the things that I actually did think was very positive. So, I mean, they are saying that, and I guess in some ways that's true, but not like this. Like, not like this. I would much rather you stay in America and Canada, because they're based in Canada, so I'm assuming they sell it in Canada as well. I'd much rather you stay in North America and not be involved in animal testing, or not be involved in other non-vegan activities, but only stay in North America. Like, come on. And maybe it's because I live here or whatever, but like, for real. Like, it's not about that. It's about, you know, they made $400 million. The two owners of Daiya, the two guys, made $400 million, and it's about how Otsuka's gonna make billions of dollars off Daiya, you know, within the next few years, because it's gonna blow up. Of course, it's vegan food. That's why everything just gets bought up. Like, it makes so much money. I mean, in some ways, it's making more money than the stuff it's replacing. Like, it's just a massive money maker, and it's only gonna continue every year. So that's the obvious reason, and that's why I'm so upset about this, because this was the one company that I've had a very long relationship with. I remember when they changed the formula of their shreds, and I was bummed because I hated them, and I wrote them a whole long thing on Facebook, and they changed them. I'm not saying for me, but other people wrote things as well, and they changed them. I was like, Daiya listens to the community and whatever, and they've, again, been with me for 7 years. I eat them like every day, basically, for 7 years. Something that meant a lot to me, you know. That's why I was so, like, what now? Like, what could happen now? Like, this brand that was very near and dear to my heart goes, now what's next, honestly, because this was almost the worst one. Honestly, the worst one, in my opinion, would be Tofurky. If you're, like, a fellow vegan, you'll get what I'm, like, I think, you know the brands I'm referring to and stuff, but for me, the worst one would be Tofurky, because that is a family-owned company that's been around for a very long time, and another company that I eat, like, every day, always have their sausages stocked and always have their lunch meat stocked, and eat all their other stuff as well, too. That would be the #1 blow to me, and it's just getting closer and closer and closer. I thought probably Daiya and Tofurky would be protected, because I thought that they had values, but obviously Daiya clearly does not, and maybe that's shown by, like, how it says plant-based and stuff all over their bag. Like, maybe none of this has to do with ethics. Maybe it's just about, you know, scamming people that are vegan, and they're also just trying to make money from people that have dairy allergies, whatever. And I know there's a ton of comments on their Facebook page from people that have dairy allergies or have kids that have dairy allergies. They're like, thank you so much, Daiya, you know, for existing, like, all that, blah, blah, blah. Girl, bye. Like, you don't know how much money you're gonna lose when every person with a brain and every ethical vegan, I'm not to make that sound like the same thing, but you know what I mean. I just meant, like, anyone that's gonna think hard about this, and then also, of course, just automatically all the ethical vegans that are gonna think way hard about this. Just wait until those people get a hold of this, which they already have, and just wait till they come in formation, which they already have. There's already petitions. There's already, like, hundreds and hundreds of comments. There's already angry face reactions on other Facebook posts. Just wait. You're gonna lose a ton of money. Like, it's not as good as they think. Even if they take it to other countries, like, ethical vegans there, I'm sure, will catch wind of this as well, and I don't think it's very good. I mean, they had a great reputation, in my opinion, that they're totally tarnishing. They're totally throwing away. And for what? It's not because they were going under. It's not because they didn't know how to manage a business. They built this small business up to something huge all by themselves. It's not because of any of that. Just because they wanted to make money. And as someone that has very strong values and ethics, it's very hard for me to accept and to deal with. And there's no way I'm going to support a company like that anymore. So long story short, aka long story extra long, this is why I will never be buying Daiya ever again. Yeah, with this kind of stuff, you just have to say bye, because they screwed us over. More importantly, they screwed the animals over, and it's just not okay. We have to show these companies it's just not okay, and that's why we need to not buy makeup, you know, from and skincare and house care products from companies that are owned by other companies that test on animals. That's why we should not buy stuff from any of those places, because we can't show these people that it's okay. Like, I mean, they're gonna take all our stuff, and yeah, maybe they will, but I'd feel really bad about myself if I continued to support this. You know what I mean? And I will. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna stock up on their stuff. Like, again, I couldn't find a date. That's the other thing. I couldn't find a date, or an estimated date this time that this will go through completely. So I don't know, but within the next couple months, I'm gonna, you know, stock up, I'm sure, and because it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna be sad, you know, like I already was very sad thinking about it. But, you know, you have to give hard love, you know, to these companies. Like, I mean, it's not love, but, you know, you have to teach them a lesson. This is what happens when you don't care about your customer base, which is like vegans, duh. You don't care about your customer base, and you don't care about your reputation. You just care about money. Then we won't care about you. So I didn't cry in this video, so that's good. I was crying so much, like, last night, it was, like, insane. I was so heartbroken over it, and it just really hit me that, like, I need to be a good person. I need to be the right person here. Like, this company that I trusted and liked, they were not being the bigger person here. So, but I need to be the bigger person in response to their actions. You know what I mean? So that's what really hit me, like, this huge sense of responsibility that I need to take this into my own hands. I need to stop this. I need to no longer support this. I need to spread this on social media. I need to not recommend their products. This is what I need to do because of what they've done, you know. So I really thank you for watching this video. If you watch this whole thing, I really hope that you guys feel the same way, and I really hope that you guys feel strongly about this as well, and feel strongly, you know, like, hurt by this. And I'm not because I want you guys to be hurt, of course, but I want us all to understand the gravity of what they've done here. You know what I mean? And the disregard for their customers and their consumer base in total. I don't want this to be like a fly-by-night thing. Like, I want us to be angry. You know what I mean? Again, not because I want anyone to be angry. Like, I want to be happy, but, you know, we can't take this stuff lightly, and we have to think about what we buy and who we're supporting and where our money's going to, you know. And there's some things we can't avoid, yeah, sure, but we can avoid this, you know. And so we should avoid this, and we should be vocal that we're avoiding this, and we should make sure that they feel this, that they see this on the social media, and that they feel this. And, you know, they probably won't end the deal, I'm assuming, but I don't know, we can't just take this lying down, I just feel like. So I want to put up this video, vegan rant. What a niche video. This could get like no views. We're like, what even is Daiya? What even drama? What Atsuka? What even? No one's even gonna get this, but I promise you, like, there's some other people that are as infuriated about this as me. So yeah, like, I might make some more vegan videos on this channel here, just because it's something that's obviously a huge part of my life. It's my whole lifestyle. So maybe I'll, you know, talk about some other vegan products in a more positive way, like things that we should buy and things that we should support, things that are really delicious, but also ethical, made by great people. Maybe I'll even, you know, do a video trying out some other cheeses and stuff, some other alternatives that we can have to this awful cheese. So yeah, so once again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm sorry it's so long. It seems like I can't do a video, like an unstructured video like this without it getting so long, but I hope you guys liked it, and hopefully, again, I expressed some of the same opinions that you're feeling. If you are, or if you disagree with me, whatever, if you have any opinions about this, please comment down below. I'd like to have a discussion, but especially I'd like to hear from some other vegans that are going through this right now too, and, you know, your guys' thoughts and opinions about this, and what your other favorite cheese is, you know, that's like is not owned by a parent company, that kind of stuff. Like, I would really like to know. Like I said, I've tried most of them anyway, so I'm just going to be trying them again, I guess. But if you do have a favorite one, like, let me know. So yeah, I will be back with another video very shortly. Hopefully not so ranty and negatively, but, like, they made me do it. They did. So I love you all so much, and I hope you have a spectacular day. Don't let stuff like this bring you down. Like, we're all here together, we're all here for the same vision, we're all here for the same purpose, we all care about the same stuff, and we're not gonna let this stuff get in the way. You know, like I said, I have a very emotional connection to this, but it's not the right thing to do is to feel hopeless about it, or to feel like there's nothing we can do and everyone's just against us, you know, because, I mean, that is the case, but it's not good to feel that way. You know, there's a ton of people that are not happy about this as well, and I think it's good to to feel that and good to know that you're not, you know, you're not alone with being angry and, you know, not agreeing with corporate decisions, stuff like that. So, like, once again, I've done this outro like 5 million times and just kept rambling. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I really appreciate you watching this video. Please subscribe if you would like, I guess, more videos like this. I mean, there probably won't be. Hopefully there won't be. But if you are vegan, if you like makeup, if you like Lush, if you like clothes, any of that kind of stuff, please subscribe, and please give this video a like and a comment. If you have anything to say, I would love to hear it from you. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.